This is The Social Situation. I'm Derek, and I'm joined by Ryan.
Hey.
Welcome to our first episode. Have a lot in store today, and we're going to talk about the shocking trend of celebrity deaths of 2016, UFOs, and of course, it's that time of year, some good old-fashioned Nostradamus predictions.
They just keep happening.
They keep happening and happening, but the world is still here, so he hasn't been right about everything.
No, not yet.
We have some upcoming movie news about Alien Covenant, which is near and dear to Ryan's heart.
Yes.
And the future of Princess Leia after this. Are we still going to see a form of Carrie Fisher in future Star Wars movies? What's going to happen with that? And it looks like there's demons among us. We'll get into that later. So we're kind of going to talk about the stuff that doesn't get talked about very much, the strange, the supernatural, and beyond.
Yeah. We're going to throw some things at you that you had no idea that you needed to know.
If you don't know, now you know, or will know, whatever.
Yeah, you're going to know.
I guess we'll start off with celebrity deaths of 2016. I don't know. It just seemed like every celebrity that we loved as a child and growing up, we lost this past year.
I think we're starting to show our age a little bit because it's, when you're like a kid and you're growing up, it's like all these people are dying and stuff, but you're like, I don't know who the fuck that was. And now we know everybody that dies. Like, we know who these people are, and we have like memories of hearing their songs and seeing their movies. And it's just shoving it in our face that our time is coming soon.
We lost Snape, a.k.a. Hans Gruber, Alan Rickman.
Oh, man, I forgot about that.
I mean, that was at the beginning of the year. At that point, I was like, okay. No reason to... I mean, that came out of nowhere. I was like, no reason to take him away so early. Come on.
I mean, the sheriff of Nottingham, man. I mean, he is the definitive, bad guy for my favorite Robin Hood movie. So he was an awesome actor, and he just did what the hell he wanted to do, and you just kept seeing him, cross your path from time to time, and he'd be awesome in anything you'd see him in.
Well, he was in the greatest Christmas movie of all time, Die Hard. So
yeah,
I mean,
he was great.
I know a lot of people don't consider that a Christmas movie, but it is. It is.
It is. It's filled with Christmas music. I mean, gosh, it's wonderful.
Yeah, and we lost someone very very near and dear to us of our childhood was Willy Wonka himself, Gene Wilder.
Damn, yeah.
That happened this year. We had Prince go, David Bowie. The David Bowie thing, that was a strange time because it came out, or he passed right after his album came out, and I remember watching the video for it, and he was in his bed, and he looked sick, and I guess that was kind of what his life was at that point, and there was not really a cool factor to it, but it was definitely very interesting.
Still like rock and roll.
Yeah, I was just that's pretty badass that there even toward the end, he was kind of shocking everyone. And then he passed, and of course that was a big shock to everyone.
Yeah.
And then, I actually started with my daughter. I don't know if she's actually ready for it, but I was actually pretty pumped for it for a long time. I've been watching Troll Hunters on which was just released on Netflix, and the voice of the main character is Anton Yelchin.
Oh yeah,
I believe that's how you say it.
God, yeah.
And he shockingly passed away this past year.
That was a freak accident.
That was literally a freak accident, and it's really weird because I think he still has a couple of projects to come out, and there was projects coming out after his death, and it's just honestly, that was kind of the saddest one to me for some reason.
Well, it was cool to see him and stuff because, and I'm not really totally sure how old he was. I think maybe mid-20s or something.
Mid-20s or yeah.
Maybe upper mid-20s, but just seeing somebody kind of our age and you kind of watch them in movies, you're just watching them and it's kind of like watching yourself in a way because they're growing old with you, and this is the person or one of the people of your generation in the acting business that you might see when you're an old person and they're still acting. So it's kind of weird to think about stuff like that. And you see this guy, and does an awesome job in like Star Trek and all this, and just young guy, boom, he got squished.
He was majorly talented. He really had. He was very likable. I remember seeing a movie that really nobody ever talked about, which was actually pretty good. Was Odd Thomas? I think it was what it was called.
Yeah, Odd Thomas.
And it was a really good movie. Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I've heard about it too a lot, but I just never got around to seeing that one. It seemed a little odd to me.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely strange in its way, but I mean, he was in it, Willem Dafoe. But it was a really good movie. You know, there towards the end of the year, we lost Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, that's
that also came out of nowhere, and obviously we'll be talking about it later. I don't know. I mean, there was plenty of people that passed in 2016. I don't know is there anyone that off the top of your head that you can remember that you're kind of like, you know, holy shit.
You had told me a couple that I just totally forgotten about. I mean, it's really unbelievable how many people died and how many other people have died that we haven't even mentioned that we can't remember.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was George Michael there towards the end.
Well, yeah,
of the year too.
George Michael, definitely. I mean, he had been out of the spotlight, at least in the spotlight that I had seen. Oh God, probably since the '90s or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I just felt like he kept showing up in the news and stuff to do with like getting caught in bathrooms and this and that. But
yeah, that was definitely a bad time for him right there. But you know, we all make mistakes, I guess. But you know, I've heard stuff about him that, you know, behind the scenes he was a great person. Donated charity, you know. So I guess there was a lot of stuff we didn't know about him that. At least I just learned about him that he was a pretty good person, but
yeah,
it came out of nowhere. I felt like all these deaths kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty rough year to be a celebrity, that's for sure. Well, hopefully 2017 will kind of ease back on everything. I know a lot of people hated the year 2016, but there was some good in it. So, you know, hopefully 2017 will be a little bit better.
Yeah, forward progress. All right, so let's hear about this UFO thing.
All right, well, you know, I guess across the United States, I mean, it's been in different states, but all the sightings have been like eerily similar. Everyone says they're triangular shaped and they fly at low speeds and they're silent and. But apparently they're like as big as a football field.
Oh, really?
And,
so an aircraft of this size is floating around, and it's not being noticed, huh? I mean, outside of by us lower folk.
Us lower folk, yes. You know, it's. I just feel like if there's something as big as a football field in the sky, there's going to be more than just a few people see it there. When they make these sightings, or, you know, maybe people are scared to say something also because they might think the government might come after them or something like that.
I mean, and, you know, like, isn't it supposed to kind of be like impossible for us to levitate something that's the size of a football field? I mean, do we even have that ability right now?
You know, I never thought we could, but.
Well, that's, you know, like that was kind of the problem in the movie Interstellar, I think. That was like the whole problem with the people on Earth while Matthew McConaughey and those people were out doing their thing, was they were trying to figure out a way to lift this huge thing, you know, off of Earth or whatever, to, you know, so they can get into space and all that shit. But I don't know. I don't like, from a logistical standpoint of the government testing something out, because I will always look at things like this in that manner. I just don't see how it's possible.
You know, I think in this case, I think it could be something being tested out. Just judging by the size of this thing, I don't think it's as big as they think it is. That's what she said. But it is kind of strange that, you know, here across the United States, they're all similar the way they describe their sighting. But, you know,
well, hey, this is a different age than it used to be for stuff like this.
It is, you know.
People are too connected, and like these people frequent the same, message boards and things like that. Somebody goes in there and starts describing something. Somebody else who thinks they saw something kind of just adapts it to that because they're not sure what they saw.
That's true. I mean, we are in the day and age where people see something, they read it, and then it's just the snowball effect where people are just like, okay, we're going to make this a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And bigger and bigger and bigger. And then before you know it, it's just complete bullshit in the end.
Yeah.
But, it is similar to when the lights were over Phoenix. If you remember that, I think that was the late 90s or early 2000s or something, which I guess, the government, quote unquote, debunked that,
Yeah.
But, at the same time, it does kind of feel like sometimes that we're kind of spared a bit of the juicy details. Maybe, maybe I personally think, in all this, in all the galaxy, there's no way that we're the only people, the only life form in the galaxy. There's got to be something somewhere.
I mean, yeah, there has to be something out there. And my thing is that if there's anything out there, they're not going to come to Earth and play these little games where they're like, let's be really covert about shit. I mean, it's crazy to think that they're even going to try to be anything like us. I mean, they're going to show up and we're going to be like, what the fuck? That's what's going to happen if it ever happens.
Well, I don't want it to be a terrifying situation
Well,
to where Randy Quaid has to come in and save the day.
But see, even people like Stephen Hawking think that it's if we ever come across aliens, then we're fucked. He
because they made it to us first.
yeah. If they come here, then that means they are technologically way more advanced than we are, and we are in some major dung.
I feel like I have my days where I do believe, and then there's days where I don't believe.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you see some of this stuff online on YouTube or whatever, and you're like, that, that could be something strange. And then sometimes you're like, okay, what is this? The 90s where what was the Stephen King movie at the airport? The Langoliers.
Yeah.
However you say it.
Yeah, Langoliers.
Yeah, and I mean, if you go back and watch that part where the aliens or whatever they are blowing up whatever they're doing, it's the fakest thing you ever see in your life. And that is a very good book, though. The movie, on the other hand, was a bit.
Yeah, that was like one of those made-for-TV movies.
Yeah. And it wasn't the greatest of movies.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
But so when it comes down to it, do you believe?
Do I believe that? Well, see, here's my problem. It's hard for me to even get to the point where I'm thinking seriously about some of this stuff because I just have such a distrust for anything that anybody says. Like, I feel like everybody's out for attention, so they're making up stories, just to get attention on them. And I never get to think about, like, oh shit, could there be a monster out in the woods or, this or that? Because I'm always just thinking that people are full of shit.
Definitely nowadays, people are full of shit.
Yeah. I want to believe. Yeah, I mean, believe me, I'm really into this stuff, and I definitely want there to be some kind of alien out there that's like making himself known in a way that's not blowing up the planet. Sure.
Right. Yeah. Aliens, if you're listening to this, of all the shows to listen to in all of the world and all of the galaxies, please come in peace.
Well, see, that's you haven't seen The Arrival yet, have you? The Arrival?
I have not.
And I haven't seen it yet either. Just came out in theaters in December, so I guess it'll be hitting Blu-ray in June or something.
I hope so. I know I wanted to see it, but
just aliens coming to Earth and trying to say, "Hey, we're here. We need to communicate" or something.
Let's be friends.
Yeah. Phone home. I need to use your phone.
Hey, can we use your cell phone? I kind of forgot my charger back on Jupiter. And then we're going to leave. So
yeah.
Thank you and bye-bye.
Yeah, we're going to bounce.
Speaking of some terrible situations or maybe some better situations, I don't know. It's beginning of 2017, which brings into to the effect, it's some good old-fashioned Nostradamus predictions. Wasn't that beautiful?
Oh, I loved it.
I mean, I could probably be a singer,
You probably could, and you'll probably be doing some jingles here soon.
I mean, I might. We lost a few celebrities. I'm here to fill in with my beautiful voice.
The next best thing.
All right. So, I mean, I'm just gonna throw these out there,
let's hear
and Ryan, I just want to hear your wonderful opinion.
All right, good, because I haven't looked at anything to do with this, so this will be good.
Okay. So, in the year 2017, China will make bold moves to cure the economic imbalance of the world.
Well, if they do that, then we as America are fucked because I think we owe them more than anybody else does.
I think you're right. It would be wonderful to get everyone's economic situation fixed, including mine.
Yeah, I hear you on that, man. I just, I find that to be, as these usually are, oddly coincidental. And this year, definitely with, and not trying to get political here, but at this point in time, Donald Trump's kind of been prodding China a little bit, agitating them with some of the things he's been doing. So it could not be a great thing that he's doing that.
I've never heard of Donald Trump pissing anyone off.
Oh, really?
Ever.
Well, then.
Ever.
Yeah, you just never left the cave then.
All right, so are we ready for?
Yeah. Let's do another one.
Prediction number 2. Cloud computing will disappear. Nostradamus also predicted that the term cloud will disappear from the phrase cloud computing because most of the computers will simply be assumed to be done in the cloud. That pesky cloud.
That's impossible. There's no way that term's going away. Not this year.
Everyone, stop taking nudes. Get your dick pics, guys, and just keep them to yourself because it's going to the cloud.
Yeah.
And if it goes to the cloud, it's going to everyone in your neighborhood too, in the world.
I don't think the cloud is going away. Like, there's going to be some form of the cloud from here on out in our existence. So, I mean, it's just too important to how the world works now.
How can it go away when I don't even understand it yet? I mean, I'll be honest with you. When people talk about this cloud shit, I'm like, what the hell is it?
Well, the cloud is basically off-site storage. So you're giving your details, like your pictures and your contacts and, your location. You're going ahead and giving it to Google or, whatever cloud service you're using. And it's basically, it's your whole digital life. I mean, it's keeping record of you, of where you've been and, the footsteps you've taken, all the pictures. I mean, this is the cloud, and everybody is jumping on board on this thing. I know that I have a bunch of pictures in the cloud.
I'm sure you do.
I'm smart enough not to, put anything risque on there because,
yeah, uh-huh.
I mean, keep that on offline computers, guys. That's the only way to be sure.
Keep it in your pants. Keep it in your shirts.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see that shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a crazy prediction, and I'm wondering how so Nostradamus said this. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was one day he just like flashed into the future. He was like, cloud, yeah. Cloud here, cloud there, cloud gone.
He's like, those fucking Macs, they're gonna be around longer than everybody.
If he had known this shit, then I'll tell you what, he would have been a rich man.
Yeah. I mean, he must have been walking around with a cranium the size of freaking volleyball because all this information that he's processing and all these years worth of predictions. I mean, gosh, so depressing it must have been to be around him. He's just sitting at a desk all the time and people are like, hey, what's up? And he's like, oh, fuck, I'm on the year 1984. What's going to happen bad this year?
I'm listening. I'm in the year 2004 and I'm listening to some emo music right now. Yeah. I'm just able to hear it in my head.
They're gonna have this thing called punk rock, and it's gonna be badass. I'll tell you that. Whatever the fuck your name is from the old days.
There's gonna be this band called Blink 182. I tell you what, man. They're going to take off real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
I'd put my money on them.
All right, so moving along with these wonderful predictions. Italy will face financial hardship. Unemployment and loans will make Italy the epicenter of the EU financial crisis. The Italian banking system is in serious trouble, and the failure of these banks is simply the tip of the iceberg. I guess that's going on right now. Are they having issues right now?
Are they having issues right now? I didn't know Italy was
I
having
don't
any
know.
issues right now.
Well, if not, they will be. Listen up, Italy.
I know that isn't Greece the one that's in
Yes.
some major financial issues?
Yes, they are. But I
yeah,
tell you what,
yeah.
you can get a cheap little trip there.
Well, I'm sure of that, yeah. It'd probably be really nice over there. I don't know. I like it here in the States.
Why Italy? That's what I want to know. Why Italy? Why are they gonna?
Well,
have their little...
it's it's like it's a weird time because the European Union is, it's not disintegrating by any means, but with Britain, kind of backing out of all that and stuff, I mean, that could be the first of many. And then you're looking at economic unrest and some crazy shit might happen, but that won't happen all this year. So I call bullshit on this too.
Stop listening to that damn Blink 182 and
It's the future.
they actually did have like a #1 album like this past year.
Yeah, I knew they had another album out.
I think it went to #1 in the year of death.
But it doesn't have the singer or whatever, right? Because he's like, or did it have the singer? The main singer, or
they had
the one dude, like it's not
the
like a guitar
Angels and
player.
Airwaves guy, not there anymore.
Huh?
I think that's Tom. Yeah,
Isn't one of them like really schizophrenic or something? Like
one of
the
them's
formal ones.
One of them's
not
kinda,
the drummer, not the one guy who's always
the whiny guy.
Yeah.
The whiny guy's not around.
Yeah.
He's doing shit like we're doing, talking
Yeah.
about UFOs and all that.
Yeah. Real winner, right?
Jeez,
Yeah.
the hell's he drinking? All right, let's get on with this wonderful little prediction. We just got a couple more to go. All right. Wars over global warming will happen. Quote unquote, hot wars could be escalated in 2017 due to global warming and diminishing resources. Do you think global warming is a real thing? Or
I definitely believe that global warming is a real thing. Now, as far as, I do think that mankind could kick it back a notch on the emissions,
we could probably kick it back a notch.
I mean, I'm not saying like we just need to go like totally cold turkey.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way we can't do it now. But like it should always be something that we're striving towards instead of people just saying, "Huh, well, I think it's a load of bullshit." All this shit. No, I believe that global warming is a real thing. But I do also believe that the planet is changing like itself too.
I don't see us going to war over global warming, but for diminishing resources, obviously, people would be very upset that they're losing their resources and could definitely get violent on that.
The only way I would see war happening over global warming kind of stuff is because you're looking at the people with the biggest armies are the biggest offenders.
Yes.
China. I mean, Jesus, they got the biggest army, but they're the biggest offender. Europe is, really bad about it. Of course, the United States is terrible about it. But yeah, as far as resources, I mean, I think we're still doing good on
Definitely.
everything, even oil and stuff.
Yeah. So do you call bullshit on that prediction? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's like they're really crazy predictions. I know that they're not exactly like how you're reading them or anything, but
right.
It's still. It's like really close to like it's like a worst case scenario of something that could happen. Could potentially happen now.
Mm-hmm. Let's see the current superpower, which is I guess referring to the U.S. Are we still the superpower? I mean,
well,
some people think no. I still want to think yes because I mean I live here, so
I still kind of look at it like the big three, just U.S., China, and Russia. I mean, I feel like maybe you can include the EU in that if you look at them as a whole, but it's crazy.
Let's see. Okay, current superpower referring to the U.S. will become ungovernable and incompetent to take care of the world. Ideological polarization, political corruption, growing inequality will be factors. Well, I mean, isn't there always political corruption everywhere?
Yeah, the political corruption's nothing new. It's always been around.
It just sounds like something's going to happen and everyone's going to be like, oh, it's the U.S.'s fault. Blame it on Donald Trump.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that, because, there are so many crazy things that could happen, this year with the new president. And I'm not saying that they're good things or bad things, but he's taken a pretty strong stance on a bunch of stuff. And we're going to see how that affects the world and all that. But as far as within the United States, I don't think that I do see some kind of unrest, but at the most, but nothing that's going to bring down the U.S.
Let's see here. Commercial space travel, which is actually kind of in the works right now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, seriously, it's happening. I feel like Nostradamus is just like, well, obviously we're going to get a little better as a world at some point.
Yeah, but in his time, like the space-related stuff definitely wouldn't be remotely known widely, I don't think. I mean, it's crazy to think about people's thoughts on space and shit back in those days.
That's true. I mean, it's definitely, it was definitely a strange time. I mean,
well, you're just there's a bunch of ignorant people just trying to survive, and they have no technology or anything.
Whereas the world now, we cannot live without technology.
Can you imagine trying to, like, us? That would be like us saying, okay, well, let's make some predictions about the year fucking 3000. And like, we're fucking retarded. We can't even begin to ponder what it's like in the year 3000. How does this crazy old fool from back in the day come up with all this stuff, man?
That's very true. I cannot even think about what I'm going to have for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, the rest of the week.
We get hung up on this stupid shit. We can't even begin to fathom these really crazy philosophical like things that are going to happen that are going to change the face of the planet in the year 3000.
I get upset when I think about when I was a kid and I was going on like a long trip in the car and I had no way possible of calling my friends or or anything. And now of course we could text and do whatever.
Yeah, the idea of computers in our pocket. I remember when their computers were such a foreign object to me that I just I would have never imagined them being part of my everyday life.
And now you've mastered them.
And now I come home and I sit at my computer and I love my computer.
And now we have the cloud.
Yeah, and I just cloud it up.
Yeah, and that's all of them. I'm a little disappointed though. I'm a little disappointed in them.
Really?
Where's like the good? World's coming to an end this year. I mean, I guess it was supposed to happen a few years ago, though. But
yeah, technically the world should be in decline right now, and I guess it could be. But
didn't Nostradamus predict a few apocalypses or Armageddons or whatever?
Yeah.
So how's he making predictions after the apocalypse?
Yeah, you would think that his predictions would be based on his other predictions coming true.
Well, guess what? Nostradamus is full of shit. We're just having some fun here, but come on, Nostradamus, come on. Although he did predict the rise of pop punk, baby.
Yeah, he chiseled that one into stone.
Coming up in 2017, we finally get another alien movie, which has some, correct me if I'm wrong, xenomorphs.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, xenomorphs, yeah.
I feel like an idiot when I say it. I don't know why.
Nah, that's what it is, man. We got the trailer for the new Alien movie, came out on Christmas Day. It was definitely a Christmas gift for me. I literally watched it within the first minute of being awake. So, it's a sequel to Prometheus and still a prequel to Alien, but we got a lot more David in this one. We got David 8, and then we got another new android called Walter.
Okay.
Which is also played by Michael Fassbender. The trailer's all over the place.
It really is.
When I first watched it, I was just numb. I couldn't. I couldn't believe how much gore was in it, and I don't even know what I think about all the gore yet. Because when I think of like Alien and aliens and the whole Alien saga, I don't associate gore with it, even though there is gore.
Right,
but,
right.
It's,
Well, I guess one of its most famous scenes is gory.
I get. Well, you know what? I always forget about that. Yeah, the chest burster scene, which we got a douse of that in this trailer. The now called back burster.
Okay,
That's what that's called. Chest burster. Obviously, the alien comes out through the chest. We got a back burster in the trailer. Now it's rumored that there's a couple of different type of aliens in it.
Well, we want the most important one.
Yeah,
the one we grew up and loved.
But even still, I don't know how this will lead into Alien. And really, like, there's a fundamental nerdy issue with things leading into Alien, as far as the ship that you see in Alien that they find the alien on, or begin that process. That is like ancient. That's an old ship. So anything that happened in Prometheus or Alien Covenant cannot possibly be that ship. That ship is already sitting where it's at when Ripley and the crew of the Nostromo find it. So they're still like treating this like prequels leading directly into Alien, but from a really nerdy fan position, I don't know how it's going to get there, especially after watching the trailer.
Ridley Scott will get you there.
Oh, I know. I'm excited. I mean, shit. Who would have thought 10 years ago that Ridley Scott would be doing Alien movies again? I mean, shit.
I'm glad he is.
He's only got so much time left, and he's definitely. I feel like he's right around 80 or something now, and he wants to make 2 more Alien movies.
Hey, go right ahead. I love Prometheus. I know a lot of people did not like it. I loved it. It was a bit confusing at times.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing.
One part of the confusion didn't even come from the movie itself as much as in the marketing. They kept saying that, no, it's not really a prequel to Alien. And then you watch the movie and it has all these elements from Alien that, of the plot and stuff. And then they turn around and say, well, yeah, it's a prequel to Alien. And you're like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? What is going on here? But I feel like the spirit of Alien is in Prometheus, and definitely it exists in the Alien world.
My only problem with the Alien franchise is, which I know this isn't fair. This isn't fair at all. Is it just me, or does the technology go downhill? When you look at in the scheme of things, you're just like, okay, well, if you look at the old Alien, the technology's not as good. So I feel like they should have went back and tried to make the technology a little crappier.
So the ship you see in Alien is, it's 60 years later from Prometheus. Right. And in Prometheus, everything is state of the art, insane, like, really glossy tech. Whereas in Alien, the Nostromo looks like a fucking 1970s, inside a boat or something.
Right.
So the way they explain that in the Prometheus commentary and stuff is that the Nostromo is just like, it's like a friggin' semi truck or something. It's got to get stuff from point A to point B. It doesn't have to be pretty. Whereas in Prometheus, you have a trip that's being directly funded by the richest person in humanity.
Right.
And he's on his deathbed, and he's funding this trip, and he's on the ship. We ultimately find out.
Yeah, he does end up.
So would he spare any expense on his ship? I mean,
that's true.
He would literally have the technology on that is like that he himself has pioneered. So I mean, it's kind of, that's how you got to look at it.
That's a good point. I'm glad you explained that to me.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little less hurt.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still kind of bullshit. I think it should have looked older and stuff in Prometheus.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see a lot more of that kind of shit in the transition from Prometheus to Alien, as far as just trying to link the two together. Anyways, it's going to lean a lot more in Alien's favor this time around.
Okay.
They're really playing heavily on the horror aspect of Alien, I think, in this one, which, it should be pretty good, but I don't know, man. I mean, like, the horror aspect of Alien, you can't do that these days. People don't have the patience for it. There's no way that they're going to have, like, a single alien stalking on the ship or something. There's multiple aliens this time around, just like in Prometheus. Drastically different from each other, but kind of the same, linked genetically or whatever, with that black goo shit. I don't know. I really don't even know what to expect from the fucking movie at all. Like it's crazy to watch that fucking trailer.
Well, it's always interesting to watch an alien movie. I'm excited, and I know you're excited. So I'm
Definitely,
pretty sure I've already pictured you on Christmas Day, because it came out on Christmas Day. You just getting a special pair of footy pajamas, sorry,
Yeah.
and running down the stairs, even though you didn't have to run down any stairs.
Yeah,
And
I didn't even move. I woke up, grabbed my phone, and looked. Didn't even move. Yep.
Well, yep.
For
And
sure.
speaking of movies, we touched on it a little bit earlier with Carrie Fisher passing last year. What will be the future of Princess Leia in the Star Wars franchise? I believe in Rogue One, which I've yet to see. Don't judge me on that, but I believe she's CG in it.
Yeah. They just like they did with Tarkin, his character. They CG'd Princess Leia in there, and I thought it looked like shit.
Oh, really?
I thought her CG'd character looked like complete shit.
What about Peter Cushing's?
I thought his looked awesome.
Really?
I was really surprised. I'm one of the people that the first time I saw it, I knew that it was CG. Like I could just tell,
Right.
Which a lot of people couldn't tell, but because you have to doubt when you see this character on screen and you know that he was old in 1979 or whatever, that he would look exactly the same if he was still alive. And that was so like through logistics, man, I was instantly like, nope, this is some bullshit. Which it looked awesome, but then when it got to Princess Leia, it looked like shit. So,
Really? Okay.
It brings us to if Disney wanted to continue with the character of Princess Leia into Star Wars Episode 9, because she has already filmed, Carrie Fisher did film her scenes for Episode 8. But going into Episode 9, because her character is rumored to have a big part in Episode 9.
Right. So yeah, they're kind of in a tough spot.
Well, they're still in a really good spot to where they can go back and do reshoots in Episode 8 and totally just write her character out if they wanted to.
Okay.
Which it would be really expensive reshoots, and it would restructure the story of Episode 8 to a degree we don't even know.
Right. But it's Disney, and
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
okay, well, money. We got it.
If you carry forward with the princess in this movie that's coming out, and I guess in December, it's kind of just delaying the inevitable, because you're going to have to deal with it one way or another at some point. Is it easier, and is it thematically better to go ahead and just fix the problem, nip it in the bud first thing? I mean, it's going to be expensive, but they could do that.
Right. How would you feel about seeing a CG, a computer animated, or whatever?
They better kick it up a notch from what they did in Rogue One.
Do you not find? Well, did you find the Peter Cushing?
I did. I
thing
thought it
kinda
was really well done.
But did you find it like a bit morbid in a way?
Well,
or?
a lot of people had problems with that, but his estate signed off on it, and I mean, as long as they're actually seeking approval and somebody like in the family is getting paid, then I don't think that he would have any problem with it, because his family's benefiting from it. They're probably getting paid money to loan out his likeness like that.
I've read that there's actually a bunch of actors contacting their lawyers to, I guess, maybe make up a contract to where their likeness cannot be used.
Oh, wow.
After their death or in the future, without obviously them being here. And Robin Williams apparently had signed something that 25 years after his death, you could not use his likeness in anything at all.
Wow.
It's really weird, and it'll be pretty hard to kind of like see Carrie Fisher so close to her passing, being in this movie, and knowing it's like not the real her.
Yeah.
It's just kind of strange.
Well, her character altogether now is going to be a huge distraction in
That's true.
this movie. Yeah. It's kind of like when you saw The Dark Knight when Heath Ledger had died. Like, the whole time I was watching it, all I could think about, which, the movie fucking is legendary. Great
definitely.
movie. But, like, the first time I saw it was like, man, this guy is dead because of this role. Like, I mean, that's what I was thinking. Like, this guy overdosed because he couldn't sleep because of this fucking role.
Right.
And you buy it, like, at the end of it, but certainly a distraction at first.
Well, I mean, obviously they're gonna have to do something. They'll do it, and in the end, we'll have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Whatever they do.
Well, I wonder when they did her character in Rogue One, if they actually brought Carrie Fisher in and did a 3D scan of her, you know, in her current state.
Right.
And then just tried to doctor that up, like, and remove some of the wrinkles and stuff.
They could have.
But, you know, like you talking about all these people having these contracts and stuff to not use their likeness. What about the other way around? What if one day actors start kind of going in every few years and getting like full 3D scans of themselves to be used potentially
in the movie
in the futures in the future when they're long gone? Like it's like there's this huge database where you can just access these actors and plug them into your movies, and they've got all of their audio recorded,
right.
To where like they produce speech like they would if they were here.
That would be very strange to me.
But like
but cool at the same time.
Well, yeah. Like, so they do this stuff, the actors do, and they would get their family or whatever, you know, would get compensation every time that somebody uses their likeness. You still have to pay whatever is a large amount of money,
right?
You know, maybe not $20 million current day, but you know, maybe like $1 million or something to use the likeness of your great grandpa.
Yeah. You're not getting Tom Cruise or Will Smith money or Jennifer Lawrence money, okay?
Yeah.
You're no longer with us. I'm sorry.
But you know,
but your family, yeah.
It's a crazy idea to think about it. I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
Potentially untapped like business venture. Start scanning these stars, man.
I'm sure there's like plenty of egomaniacs in Hollywood. They're like, I want to be in movies forever, even after I die.
Yeah, I would do it, man. If I was an actor, I'd be like, hell yeah, man, whatever.
We'll sign up for it anyways. If anyone wants to scan us and put us in your movie, and pay us, you can do that.
Yeah, we can talk licensing on that.
Okay, well, to wrap things up, I guess there are apparently demons among us. I don't know. I guess there was a demon sighting. Apparently, there was a picture of a demon in Arizona.
Is that like like I didn't look at this article either because I wanted to be surprised. But I feel like I've seen a picture recently of somebody, like a figure in the dark. That's, right. Like it looks like it's in a park or something.
It's very grainy. Yes.
Yeah. That's my problem with it. A grainy picture.
Everything's always grainy. When are we gonna get the smoking gun?
Listen, guys. Everybody has a smartphone that can take some badass pictures now. There's no fucking excuse for a grainy picture.
I personally think it was... Some people think it was a demon. Some people think it was the Grim Reaper. I think it might have been the Grim Reaper just peacing out on 2016. It's like, you know, I've done my damage this year. I'll see you all maybe in a couple years or something.
Well,
something like that.
The picture certainly does resemble to me like it's some kind of crazy horned demon.
Right. Yeah, we're... you know, you all can be the judge too. We're gonna put the link up on our Facebook page, which is under Preconceived Notions Entertainment. But you know, I look at it and it's in Arizona, so I'm just like, maybe a couple palm trees, and it's just the way they took the picture. They're like, this looks like something. Let's put it out there and be like, yep, that's a demon. I don't think it's a demon.
Well, I looked at it really hard myself, looking for how they assembled this. I don't think it's photoshopped. But I do think that they've got something set up there that's...
yeah, you could.
You can't see the detail on it.
Like I said, I thought it was just like a couple of palm trees or something, but...
Yeah.
You know,
there's a chance, yeah.
Maybe it was a demon.
It could have been a demon.
Maybe it was. Did Nostradamus predict that? Nope.
These fucking demons.
These fucking demons. Coming around here. Get out of here.
Yeah, go on, get.
So, anyways, yeah, you all take a look at that. You be the judge. Let us know what you think. And I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. Until the next time, you guys stay weird. So.
Yeah, keep it weird. Yeah, keep it weird. Yeah, keep it